We're in the 2023 Elantra Hybrid. Yes, it is getting a refresh for the 2024 model year. We'll talk a little bit about that today. But should you be getting this Elantra Hybrid over the rest of the Elantra models, not counting the N Performance model? And should you also be getting this over something like the Corolla Hybrid or even the Prius? Let's get into it. Today we're going to test the fuel economy on this as well as do a little review. So the clock is telling me about 57.8 miles per gallon, which is absolutely insane, but we'll fill it up to see how close the computer is or how accurate it is at the end of this review, so stay for that. But let's head on to the outside of the vehicle because I don't think Hyundai needed to do a whole lot to refresh this car. I still think it looks amazing for this segment. I think it still looks better than the Corolla. Maybe not the Corolla hatchback, but the standard Corolla sedan this looks better than, and I think it, you know, keeps up with the Civic as well. But with the refresh, they definitely gave it a new front and rear end. Let me know which rear and front end do you like more. You know, I think I like the separate headlights a little bit more here. They kind of like unibrowed it. You know, they kind of did that with the Sonata as well. But I think I might actually like the front end design of the pre-refresh more than the refresh, where they kind of gave it that shark face design. Now on the side of the vehicle, they still gave it the Zorro treatment, which we see that sort of design also on the new redesigned Kona. Make sure to watch my driving impressions of that vehicle around Baltimore. With the refresh as well, they did something strange with the C and D pillar area on the Elantra. Let me know if you guys like that refresh compared to the more traditional design that we have here. Now, other than the N model, in terms of performance, nothing has changed across the Elantra lineup. The N model got some more enhancements with the suspension, maybe slightly with the powertrain. It mainly comes down to suspension. But for the rest of the models, there's been no updates that I'm aware of for any of the powertrains. So this hybrid remains unchanged, probably for fuel economy as well. So we have 139 horsepower and around 195 pound-feet of torque, which is definitely noticeable. This thing can chirp the tires if you get hard into the pedal from a stop. It's very electric car-like. And compared to like a Corolla, this thing feels very peppy from the start. You know, the Corolla maybe takes a little bit and it doesn't have that initial electric torque surge that this has right off the line. So the Elantra for sure has a performance edge over the Corolla. And after the refresh on the Corolla, this might also have a miles per gallon improvement as well. Like I said, now I'm getting over 58 miles per gallon. And I've been driving this as a perfect commuter car, taking my kids to school for a week, and I have nearly 180 miles on the clock. So can't wait to fill it up, like I said, at the end to see really what kind of fuel economy we're getting. So we're on the limited grade, and most of those improvements come on the inside here. Yes, we have bigger wheels, which look a little bit cooler than the base model wheels, and it does ride well. But back into the interior, you know, I really like the Elantra's interior ever since this model came out, and the refresh doesn't change it a whole lot. We have on this limited grade two 10-inch screens, which is very tech heavy. Now this limited also comes around $30,000, and like I said, I'll tell you if this wow, this Tesla's really slow, but I'll tell you if it's worth that sort of money here in a little bit. But I do have wired Android Auto, don't have wireless. On the entry-level Blue model, you will get wireless Android Auto, which is quite nice. But it's unfortunate that you lose that here when you get to the bigger screen. Also, we have a larger screen back here. Behind the steering wheel, you have more analog gauges on the base hybrid. This also comes with leather seats, which are very comfortable. I do have a volume knob, but you know, it does seem kind of far away. I'd prefer it to be actually where this climate control knob is, because this I pretty much have to get out of my seat. But that's just my ergonomics. If your legs aren't as long as mine, you'll probably be closer to the volume knob. I have a nice backup camera in here, as well as rear parking sensors on this limited grade. And I love this cloth interior trim on the doors. You know, some of you guys, when I did my little cryptic which car am I reviewing this week, a lot of you guys are saying Polestar or Volvo, and that's a compliment to this car, because this car comes in at $25,000–$30,000 for the hybrid grades. And yeah, like, it definitely has a nicer interior. So we're gonna do a little 0 to 60 here. It won't let me torque brake, but in sport mode the shifts aren't that fast, but that's not what this is about. There's 60. So what do we get? 0 to 60 in 8.9 seconds and 0 to 100 in 9.4 seconds. I think it's plenty quick for its segment. I'm going to put it back into eco mode here. Or should I say normal? There is no eco mode, it's just normal, sport, and smart. But like I said, it feels a lot peppier than a Corolla hybrid. If I put my foot down, yeah, it downshifts quick. It's only a 6-speed auto, so that dual clutch typically is pretty lazy and has really slow shifts, but it feels like a normal car when you drive it, and it is pretty hard to tell when the engine is on and off. So I think Hyundai's done a pretty good job at minimizing the engine sounds coming into the cabin. And yeah, pedal down. It took a little bit, like I heard what was going on, but I didn't feel the shove. So it was almost like the electric motor took a little bit for it to chip in. But yeah, I think it's perfectly responsive for its class. And yeah, I think in some ways it's maybe not as responsive as the eCVT that we see on the Corolla hybrid when you mash the gas, because Toyota's hybrids are very responsive, but this feels a lot better off the line. Safety features are okay in here. You do have Hyundai's lane keep assist, but I believe it's their first generation of it. If the lines break, it definitely wants to like just go into no man's land. Oh, there's a new Integra there, a little A-spec. That could be, you know, in the manual. Could be a chick driving it with the red seats. The brakes on this car feel really good, but I noticed, like, even with the added weight of my kids in the back, they don't seem to be as predictable. So that's something, you know, if you're having this loaded up quite often, you know, maybe see if you like the brake feel on it, because I feel like it does not like added weight in the car. All right, let's talk about ride quality. I think it's pretty good overall. You know, the hybrids get independent rear suspension compared to most of the non-hybrid models. Of course, the Elantra N, I think the Inline have independent rear. Maybe even the Limited on the standard internal combustion model might have independent rear, but most of them out there have a torsion beam in the back as well. So I like how this feels for the most part, and I think with the smaller wheel option on the hybrid, ride quality would be even better. In terms of handling, this feels a lot more fun than the Corolla hybrid for sure, and I would say even more fun in steering response compared to the Prius as well. Not quite as like razor sharp as the Civic, but man, it is still really fun to drive. You feel really connected to the front wheels. It turns in really quickly, and yeah, I like this from a driver's perspective, an enthusiast perspective, over how the Corolla hybrid drives, or even the Prius handles as well. So well done, Hyundai, with the handling. And yeah, with the base bones that this has, it doesn't surprise me, you know, that the Elantra N has a great steering feel as well. But of course, that's a supercar compared to this. The ventilated seats do work pretty well in here, but the base hybrid does still get heated seats. I have blind spot monitor in here, but I don't have blind spot view monitor, which is going to be on the upgraded limited models for the refresh 2024, as well as some other features. I think that it gets 360 camera finally as well in the limited grade. Hopefully the price doesn't go up too much on you know, the limited grade for the 2024 refresh. You know, I don't get like any wind noise coming in, which is typical for this class. It might be quieter than like the Civic as well as the Corolla and the Corolla hybrid when you're up to speed. Yes, I do get road noise and tire noise just a little bit. I'm not going that fast, I'm going about 55. And I don't hear the engine on. I always have to look to see if the EV indicator is on, because this car will cruise. And I can pull up and that's the thing here. I guess I could go to setup here and then go to this hybrid right there, and it'll tell me kind of what's going on. The battery's kind of topped off, but you know, for a sedan, you would expect visibility to be so-so. I mean, it's actually quite good in here. The front windshield feels very accommodating. Like, I can see a ton out of this front windshield, and I have no blind spots either. The back windows are pretty good. Speaking of the back, the kids in the back, they have had no problems. There are no USBs or vents back there, which which is unfortunate. I think they may have incorporated that for the 2024 refresh, so I'll put it down below if it has for sure. The trunk space I felt was adequate for its class. You also fold down the rear seats if you needed additional space. Because yeah, right now I'm going over 50 miles an hour and it's just an EV mode, and I didn't even realize it was doing that. So very smooth and seamless transition from gas to electric. It's just a very smooth and polished system that Hyundai has on their hybrids. And it's unfortunate that this hybrid system with this little 1.6 liter didn't get into the new Kona hybrid for our market. And I think that would have been a home run for them. Yes, the Kona EV is fantastic if you missed my driving impressions on it, but I really did not like the Kona with the 1.6 turbo setup and the 8-speed auto. So yeah, the only way you can get this specific hybrid here in the United States is on this Elantra. A few other things that I missed out on is this upper grade has memory seats. So if you're going to be having different drivers in here a lot, that might be a benefit, as well as you guys are going to have the Bose sound system in here. And we kind of have this duality going on with this interior. I know I keep talking about it, but I really like this inside. But we have this kind of white trimming over here around this like plastic piece. This gets a little rattly at times, by the way, but this car has 16,000 miles on it, and it drives and feels like it's brand new. I don't really get any creaks or rattles. I'm not getting any wind coming into the car. It's not driving funny. Like, it drives absolutely perfect. Not as perfect as that, but it's I'm getting better fuel economy than the Ferrari, and the Range Rover SVR, that's for sure. All right, 184.1 miles divided by 2.835, and guys, 64.9 miles per gallon. So the clock is off quite a bit. I got way better fuel economy. It says 57.8. I got nearly 65 miles per gallon here. That is insane. I'm going to reset the clock now, but holy cow. That is so impressive to get that sort of fuel economy. 64.9 miles per gallon. Actually, it might be slightly better than that, because I don't know how long it was between the first fill up and the press guy dropping it off in my house. So at least 64.9 miles per gallon. Very, very impressive. And let's go ahead and get into the studio to see if you should be buying this limited Elantra hybrid. Now, with how this vehicle is priced, I actually don't recommend buying the normal Elantra. I'm not saying the normal Elantra is a bad car, but with the amount of performance and fuel economy you get on the hybrid, I just don't see why you would want to just spring for the lesser model, in my opinion. You get good acceleration here, you get insane fuel economy, and like I said, 64.9 miles per gallon. I find that hard to believe, but here's the thing. I live in Florida. It's warm, it's flat, and it's not like I could actually have gotten better fuel economy here, because I sat this thing idling with AC on probably for about 2 hours total, waiting in car line over the past week. So it is very impressive, in my opinion, to get that sort of fuel economy. With the AC was always on this thing running. Now that we know what kind of fuel economy you can get, kind of in a best case scenario in flat, warm Florida, which one should you be getting? Well, it depends really. Like, here's the thing, at $29,150, yes, it is very premium on the inside with the nice technology, the beautiful leather and ventilated seats. However, the blue's the way to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Your fuel economy is even better here. If I got 64.9 on what they say 50 combined, what would you get on a 54 mile per gallon combined with the smaller wheels and lesser equipped model? This is the way to go. So what other vehicles are also available in our area? Or should I say my area? Within 150 miles, the blue model, yes, there are a few out there, around $25,000, $26,000. I think it is a great buy for the Elantra. But should you be buying this over the Corolla hybrid? And the answer is, well, it depends on if you can get a Corolla hybrid at MSRP, because these are about $1,000 less. Look, 25, 26 here, and then the entry-level Corolla hybrid about 24.8. And they are similarly equipped, I would say, between the two. Maybe the Hyundais typically are a little bit better equipped, base equipment to base equipment, but safety equipment here is about the same between the two. You know, whatever model you can get a better deal on, but the Elantra, in my opinion, is a lot more fun to drive, and it's a lot faster than the Corolla hybrid. But at $30,000, can I recommend this guy on the limited grade? Because they're about double the amount of limiteds in my area that are available over the blue model. $30,000. While it's a great car, it is a good alternative to the Prius, but the Prius is less expensive. The LE model, it's not going to be as well equipped, but it is a better looking model. It's way faster. It's got the lift back. So at $30,000, I'd be getting an LE or an XLE Prius every single time over the limited Elantra. It's a coin flip between the entry-level blue as well as the Corolla. You know, like I said, this is better in some ways. It handles better, it has better acceleration. Fuel economy actually might be better now since it dropped on the refreshed Corolla, but the Corolla gives you all-wheel drive as an option. It just depends on your needs, but this is a great buy around the mid-20s in my opinion. So I'm going to end it there. I'm still blown away at how much I like the Elantra. I thought, you know, the little 1.6 liter, it was going to be pretty slow and doggish. I never had any problems keeping up with traffic. I always felt like it was responsive. You get a lot of electric shove, and the handling also was very impressive to me. The build quality, I didn't mention this because I didn't do like a traditional walk around. The build quality in this thing, yes, it's built in Korea. I think that helps. The doors on this feel amazing. Opening and closing the doors, it feels like a premium car with the build quality. And it's, you know, the Corolla is going to have some tinny doors in comparison, maybe even the Prius. I don't think the Prius's doors feel as good as these doors. But that's just a personal take, but I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Are you surprised at the fuel economy that I was able to get on this guy? I'm still, my jaw's still on the floor, but thank you guys for watching. Excellent buy on the Elantra Hybrid Blue. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day and peace.